Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to a late night horror movie review and a little gem I've got for you tonight. It's an American horror film from 1973, released on Radiance Films, and it's called Messiah of Evil. Now, I've seen this a couple of times, and it's a little gem of a film. It really is a cool little horror film. Not many people talk about it. It's a little bit of an unknown kind of hidden horror gem, if you like. And it's based in this small town called Point June, where we see a young girl who's gone there searching for her father. When I say young, I'll probably say in her 20s. And she's a pretty young woman going looking for her father because her dad lives out there and he used to write to her quite a bit. And then he sort of started to write strange sort of letters. They started to come strange, and then he stopped writing altogether. So she's gone out there and she makes her trip there, and we meet some wonderful and strange and bizarre characters. We meet these bizarre couple of men at the garage when she stops off for petrol, and then when we get to the town we meet a young man with two women sort of like traveling through, and all the sort of people that live in the town. Now her dad's apparently like an artist, and he's done all these sort of like paintings and things, and so she is in searching for him. But this town is not what it seems. It's a very strange, bizarre town, sort of based in its own sort of folklore. And it's sort of like they are waiting for the Red Moon, a night called the Red Moon, when the town folks become very strange and start eating raw meat and almost become very sort of zombified. And this is how the film sort of plays out. It's a very slow sort of film. Like it's a horror film that plays on its imagery more than its actual scenes of predicting horror. It plays on its imagery, which is wonderful. It's really well shot, and it plays out just like a Lovecraft film. It really does. If you think of things like Cthulhu, where there's this town with all these strange, bizarre people, it's that. It's pretty much that. She's gone there, and we see all these sort of strange people, and she also becomes sort of like succumb to the evil in this town. And the town folk are almost like a paganistic sort of folk around there, where they seem to just communicate with the folk in the town and things like that, and they've got their own sort of ceremonies and all these weird things, and they all look and play a bit odd in the film. And as I said, this plays really strongly on its imagery, in the sense of like it's a very it's quite an artistic way that the film is shot. It's all loads of shadows and stuff in the film. Now, her dad's paintings sort of play a prolific part in the film, where she stays at her father's house there. There's all these sort of paintings of like men on the walls and stuff like that, and you just almost feel like these are characters watching you in this room, and they're not letting you go, and it sort of grips with you. And it's the atmosphere of this film that's the real horror of this film. It's just full of atmosphere, where it's like this town's almost like I say, like a Lovecraftian Silent Hill, if you like. I think if you try and think of David Cronenberg directing Night of the Living Dead, you're going to get something close to this film, because it does have that sort of Cronenberg 1970s sort of imagery about the town. When I'm watching it, I think the town area looks a lot like something from Rabid or The Brood or Scanners, something like that. It does have that sort of feel around the town, and that sort of plays out as another sort of great horror element. And it's a really well shot film, and it's really played out really well. Like I said, it is a slow burn sort of film. The music in the film is quite sparse. It's here and there, and a lot of the other noises are just noises of people walking, or the sea, or things like that, because it's like this little town is by the sea, and all these crazy sort of like things happen, and there's supposed to be some sort of creature that sort of lives around and is sort of like holding this little town under its grip, where on this red moon the local folk turn into sort of like zombie like, and her father is, we meet this old man called Charlie who speaks to our lead woman, said, look, if you find your father, kill him and burn him. Whatever you do, don't bury him. See, it's all these sort of strange sort of things coming on with the film, and we see a few really bizarre and disturbing and uncomfortable scenes, like in the supermarket and in the cinema. It's really quite an uncomfortable watch at times. It's like, because of the imagery of like this one person like being normal, and there's all these folk just staring at it, almost like they live, if you like John Carpenter. There's a lot of elements of all these sort of little films put together in a Lovecraftian kind of way. That's all I'm going to sort of tell you about the film. I'm going to score this an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it that much. It's not heavy on the horror. It's heavy on the atmosphere. But the horror's to be found within the town folk, within some of the sort of things that go on. And we see a few people succumb to their end, and there is a little bit of gore. It's not over the top. It's just there just to give you that sort of horror imagery. And like I said, this film really does play strongly on its imagery. Now, this edition by Radiance is fantastic. The image, the actual transfer looks amazing. It's really cool. The acting's pretty good. It is a very low budget, early 1970s American film, which has, like I said, that Canadian Cronenberg look to it, and almost a little bit of Italian look to it, like a sort of Argento kind of sort of photography way about it. It does play out that way. The colours are quite rich and absorbent, and the imagery is very artistic, like Argento would do. So there's a lot of influences, or maybe this film has influenced these other people to create their sort of films, because it is a really good horror film, and it's one definitely worth checking out. If you love things like Lovecraftian films, if you love films like films that are a little bit like a Cronenbergy sort of film, or something that is a little bit different and a little bit slow, but it's more of an atmosphere rather than horror imagery, then this is the film for you. It's absolutely wonderful. Really cool. Messiah of Evil. 9 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below. Must apologise once again for the dark lighting. We are actually under candlelight again tonight, just because it's quite late at night and I've been watching it, and so I thought, well, I don't want to turn the lights on because that will wake me eyes up. So I thought, well, let's just light me candle and enjoy this wonderful film, which I urge you to check out if you haven't seen it. Until my next review, guys, please check out some other horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man Film, RS Design, Pizzawell. I'm Ice Lord Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House, and The Maniac. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really do hope I see you all soon.